Episode 6 of the X-Rays Forensics Quick Guide videos deals with searching. In order to run a search, you could, for example, simply select the items you wish to search in the directory browser, right-click them and choose Simultaneous Search. This will, as you can see, offer you over here on the right-hand side, the option of searching all selected objects, which is of course the list I had selected just now. I could alternatively switch to searching all tagged objects, which would of course be the items tagged like this. Or I could switch to searching all objects in volume snapshot. I am able to enter any number of search terms I want. I could basically have an entire list of search terms, simply copied and pasted into here, or as I've just done it, I've typed in Adam and Smith as independent search terms. What I could do in addition is I could, for example, require them to be whole words only, so Adam would no longer be allowed to be part of Madam, Smith could no longer be part of, say, Goldsmith or Smithsonian. Down here you define the list of encodings. As you can see, multiple encodings can be searched at the same time. For the purposes of a search like this, these two will do. This is my standard Windows code page for single byte characters, and this is the Windows way of doing Unicode, your typical 2 byte per character encoding, at least in most cases. What I will do is, with the options as they are set, run this search on all objects. And what I get is a number of hits, most of which of course are, since I did not pick whole words only, various forms of rubbish, with of course Adams and Smiths in between. If I didn't want any search, any hit for Adam and Smith, well, there are various forms of narrowing this down. For a start, presently I'm seeing all the search hits. What I could of course do is I could say I'm not interested in all search hits, I'm interested specifically in the ones in the docs directory. I right click on docs and choose explore recursively, and now I'm only seeing search hits in docs and subdirectories. Alternatively, I right click on documents and settings, explore that, and now I'm seeing search hits in documents and settings and subdirectories. What I can also do, with or without the full list being shown, is I can filter. I could, for example, say I'm only interested in hits in files of a particular type. And by way of a slight oddity, I'll pick type pictures. I hit activate, and as you can see, that actually gets me a few results. Specifically, these two pictures here apparently have these hits in them. You can see the hits in context here, and you can already tell that this is obviously text. Except when I select this and I look at it in its raw form down here, you can see while this is indeed text containing the word Smith, what it actually is, if I scroll up a bit, it's the slack space of the actual picture which ends here. So this is the actual picture ending and the slack of the file showing up with a hit, and as you can see, the description column says so too. What I could also do is I could say, well, actually I wasn't interested in Adams and Smiths independently, I was interested in a combination of the two. So what I could do here is I could choose to say, not minimum 1, which means show me any hits in any files that contain at least one of the chosen search terms, but in fact give me all 2. If I hit enter, what X-Rays Forensics now does is it narrows the list of search hits down to just those which are in files that contain both. Except it's a bit difficult to see what's really happening here, because this file, for example, shows so many hits. So what I can do to narrow things down a bit further, I can say list 1 hit per item only. The condition that the file needs to contain both search hits will still continue to exist. It's just that I will only get the first one listed. And as you can see, this narrows things down quite dramatically. Except none of those look like Adam Smith to me. So what I could do to further improve the result, in addition to just saying each file needs to contain both chosen search terms, I can also say they must be near each other. In other words, a however defined maximum distance away from each other. It presently says 50 here, I shall leave it like that and hit enter. And as you can see, I now do get a hit with Adam and Smith quite close together. In order to leave the search hit view, I simply click on that button. The binocular button, as you can see, switches back and forth between the search hit view and the directory browser. Back in the directory browser, I can run one more search to give you an alternative approach, because obviously I have the convenient option of saying I'm running a list of search terms and I can flexibly combine them with each other, as you've just seen me do. An alternative to this, of course, would have been the grep search, which in this particular example does not actually offer a significant level of advantage, because obviously the advantage of the flexible approach is that if I had a number of different search terms, I could flexibly combine them with each other as I saw fit, whereas the grep search makes that rather specific. But even so, the grep search, of course, would be an alternative. What I could do is I could say I want Adam to be the beginning. So I put \b for word boundary, which in turn means that it can't be madam anymore, it has to be Adam. What I can also do is then say, followed by the dot means any random character, and the curly brackets allow me to give a numeric range for that. So dot and then in curly brackets 0, 50 means between no and 50 random characters, then followed by Smith. This would allow Adam Smith to be written as one word, as it might be in a domain, for example, and up to 50 characters in between, including, for example, a middle name or two. And then I'll have that as a word boundary again. This would allow me in grep to now search for Adam and Smith close together, but this time strictly, so no flexible combinations afterwards. What this will not allow, unlike the near combination I just performed earlier, is for Smith and Adam to be the other way around. To accommodate for that as well, I'd have to enter a separate grep line with Adam and Smith flipped round, so having Smith at the front and Adam at the back. For my purposes, just to demonstrate, I won't need that, but in reality, of course, I might want to consider that. I just hit OK, and I do get hits, and as you can see, that too gets me Adam Smith.